The following is a fan-made review. All clips are owned by their respective networks. All other clips and music are owned by their respective owners. We encourage our viewers to support the official content and support the independent artists on their official platforms. Dude. Giant robots.
Nice!
Alright, my dudes. When it comes to Cartoon Network, I'm the specialist on this two-man parade. From Edda and Eddie to Johnny Bravo, I've seen them all. And this week, we're going to get totally radical with our mecha dudes down in Jersey.
That's right, he's Mike and I'm Cornet Chris. Today we're going to be talking about Megas XLR, Extra Large Robots.
Back in '02, during the gnarly Cartoon Weekend Summerfest, we got a taste of this Western mecha show. It wouldn't be until '04 when we'd have our taste buds quenched with fresh episodes coming out every week. It was a beautiful time, a simpler time. A time filled with giant robots and Amazon babes from outer space. We start out with Coop, a big guy with the hunger for rides, finding a giant robot in an old junkyard. Turns out, this robot was sent back from the future, where war reigns supreme. Coop takes this grizzled bot and soups him up with a fresh coat of paint and a hot rod for a head. His buddy Jamie accompanies him on adventures along with the future lady Kiva. Chaos ensues.
Megas XLR ran from 2004 to 2005, only lasting 2 seasons unfortunately, due to underappreciation. The series was created by Jody Schaefer and George Christic, both relative newcomers at the time who didn't have much street cred. Jody's most well-known work as an animator being this show and Metalocalypse, while George, as a writer, has worked on Motor City and Star Wars The Clone Wars. Megas as a show is very much inspired by both anime and all things mecha. If it's a giant robot, space battleship, or video game, then chances are Megas gives it a shout out. Honestly, it'd take about a half hour just to list them all.
Music defines and builds onto the media it's associated with. From the start, the theme song Chicks Dig Giant Robots by Ride Time Revolutionaries tells us that we're in for a show about butt-kicking dudes kicking butt and any other non-butt obstacles in their way. The background music in each episode also screams high energy and gets you pumped for all the fight scenes. My boy Coop is a true motorhead, tinkering all day to get Megas in the most butt-kicking condition possible. At least when he's not getting something to chow down on. Jamie hangs out with Coop and is constantly trying to get chicks and cashola, and I'm all about making them buckaroonies. Kiva, our primo space chick, is uptight and always urging Coop to train to pilot Megas better. She eventually comes down to earth when it comes to slushies though.
The animation for Megas was done by Titmouse Inc., a studio who's also worked on Motor City, Venture Brothers, and Black Dynamite. The animation for Megas fits a show like this. It isn't the most fluid, often using still shots. However, what works for the show is the action scenes. And in a show about a couple of Jersey boys piloting a giant robot and fighting like it's the WWE, then that's all you really need. Now, one issue I do have with Megas is that it's extremely episodic. Once you see the first episode, you can pretty much hop around and be none the worse for wear. However, when I say issue, it's more of a personal preference. I like a show that has a long, overarching story, but that's not the same for everyone. If you like a show where you can sit down and enjoy what's happening without having to watch a whole bunch of episodes first, then more power to you.
Okay, intermission story time. My brother Jesse and I used to have this running gag about the title song. At the part where they say, Chicks Dig Giant Robots, they would flash a portrait of each main character. We had this crazy dumb conspiracy that Coop was a giant robot because they would show Kiva for the chicks part, Jamie for the digs part, and Coop for the giant robots. We were like 12 and 10 at the time, and this was hilarious every time the show came on. Our humor hasn't changed since.
Thanks for that, Mike, and you're right, your humor hasn't improved at all.
I can't improve if there's not much room to.
Well played. Anyway, one last thing I want to talk about when it comes to Megas XLR is its voice cast. Starting with the main man himself, Coop, who's voiced by David DeLuise. David DeLuise isn't someone whose name you'd recognize if you're more into voice actors. However, if you saw his face, he'd come to mind right away. This is because David is more of a live action actor, who's worked on shows like Third Rock from the Sun, Stargate SG-1, and for most younger viewers, Wizards of Waverly Place. Next up is the ever-cowardly Jamie, voiced by Steve Bloom. Yeah, voice acting legend Steve Bloom. A guy whose IMDb page probably makes up all of your childhood. More specifically, he's played Wolverine in multiple shows and specials, Spike from Cowboy Bebop, and Tom from Toonami. Rounding out our trio is Kiva, voiced by another veteran voice actor, Wendy Lee. Wendy has worked as TK from Digimon, BT from Immortal Grand Prix, and Faye from Cowboy Bebop. Along with a stellar main cast, this show also has great guest actors like Bruce Campbell, Peter Cullen, Frank Welker, Michael Dorn, Phil Lamar, and Bo Billingsley. That last one is especially important since along with Steve and Wendy, he acted in another show you might not know about. You know, Cowboy Bebop. That's right, at least tangentially, Cowboy Bebop and Megas have the same cast. Let that sink in.
Alright, sports fans, that's all we have time for today. If you like what you saw, subscribe and ring the bell. Hell, even drop a like. And remember, chicks dig giant robots!